Call sign D. Call sign D Train. Call sign D Money. D Train. I think that I would love that to be my call sign. My understanding about the call signs though is they're not complimentary. Like, you get it in your flight training as a bit of a hazing experience. At least that's what I heard. So yeah, I don't know. They probably wouldn't give me a cool call sign. But saw Top Gun today, and time traveling. I shot most of the video before I got to here, but I did want to have this unboxing in the car, which is, you know, not something I normally do. But if I'm being honest, I can't wait to get my grubby hands on this one. Oh, come on, you. Let's see, what have we got here? What have we got? Looky there. Baby Ploprof in the house. Wow, looks amazing, fits amazing. I need to take out a link or two. Wow, awesome. So I took in a matinee of Top Gun Maverick today, so I still have coffee, and it's like 4, and I totally want donuts. I'm gonna have donuts for lunch. Donuts for a late lunch. Wow. So I've been hunting the Baby Ploprof for a good many years now, and whenever they show up, they usually show up hot. I shouldn't say hot, that means stolen. No, I mean expensive, like high dollars. And this one popped, gosh, out of the JDM. Gosh, I'm gonna have to move to Japan pretty soon with all the, you know, encouraging and tourism and shopping out of there. And I grabbed it. It was a couch to desk special. I was on the couch, saw it, and I'm like hitting pause on the YouTube, flipping the iPad over, get off the recliner and racing upstairs. Had to do some quick double checks, and sure enough, looked good, looked real good. And it's a seller I do a lot of buying from. Yeah, got it at a superb price, and it fits. The bracelet is a little bit jangly, like loose, like from stretch. I'm hoping I can easily get a couple links out to shrink her up. I just adore this watch. The Ploprof proper is way too big for me. You know, I've never tried it on in titanium. I would like to. It's an important watch, and I gather they call this the Baby Ploprof because it has the same handset, and it has a hexagonal case, integrated bracelet. There's a couple variants of this. There's one that shows up more often than this one, and it has more of the cushion case looking case, although it's not quite a cushion case either. But this one has the hexagonal design, and I just adore it. Love it. Love it. Gonna get it home, put it on the time grapher, and then, you know, chippy chop cut this all up with my other Top Gun musings. Took me forever and a day to see it. If you have opportunity, definitely see it on the big screen if you can. And I guess there's some theaters in like larger cities that have smell-o-vision, or the seats shake, or there's wind, or atmosphere, or smoke, or something. My buddy was telling me that they have that out in LA. That would have been really cool to see it in that environment with that sort of theater setup. I think functionally, after years of playing Ace Combat on PlayStation, I would not have used F-18s for that mission. Definitely F-35s. If not F-22 Raptors with the refuel. I'm not giving anything away, but the funny thing is, you do see F-35s in the beginning intro, and I think ultimately F-18s are 2-seaters, and that's the way you get to see our cast in the plane. And anyways, that's neither here nor there. No more spoilers. Watch spotting. It was pretty quick. Tom, may I call you Tom? Was clearly wearing a black PVD watch. There are a couple other pilots, characters, who are also seem to be wearing the same watch. I think eventually when it comes out on Blu-ray, we'll do someone's gonna do the stop motion stills. Penny Benjamin was wearing, I think someone already spotted what she was wearing, probably a Datejust or something like that. But the one watch I did see was the IWC stopwatch when the commander guy from Mad Men was timing the mission. Like, the camera got right up into the handheld stopwatch IWC. So, who knows? Good bit of watch spotting, a good bit of fun with the planes. I did read online that the scramjet Mach 10 plane at the beginning, the opening, was indeed like a full-size replica they built for the movie based on Lockheed's designs. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I wanted to talk about Top Gun a little bit. But before I get into that, it's raining again. And I just got the car washed yesterday. I'm cursed. I got a car wash curse. Aish. It was so nice yesterday. Anyways, back to Top Gun. Huge Top Gun fan from all the way back to '86. But I liked fighter jets even before that movie came out. So I wasn't just jumping on a bandwagon. Love fighter jets. I don't understand the Top Gun mission. Of course, beginning of both films, they put out the little description of why they needed Top Gun back in the day, which is, you know, fighter pilots got used to using missiles, they lost their dogfighting skills, so they needed a school to teach that. Okay, that part I get. But the notion that Top Gun, the actual Top Gun, is where you send your best fighter pilots, that doesn't make any sense to me. You should send the worst ones. The best ones are already probably pretty good. You need to send your bad pilots there so that they can get better, right? Because they send I think it's almost like college semesters. There's like 3 or 4 rounds per year, classes per year, something like that. And they pick the best pilot, usually 1 out of 20 in a squadron. And then it's like a 6 to 8 week regimen, and then they go back to their squadron. Now, hopefully, they're doing some knowledge sharing, but it's not the same as doing it, you know, live as one of the Top Gun students. I don't think it should be a privilege to go. I think if you're not great, hey, we gotta send you to bottom gun or whatnot so that your worst pilots get better. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. I think maybe Top Gun was the right way to start, but now that everyone's caught up, we gotta get some of those bottom guns back out there, get them some better training. That's how I would run it. I think maybe Top Gun started when there weren't that many great pilots. So they got like 3 or 4 of the best ones, started the Top Gun thing, started making other ones really great. But now at this point, so many years on, I think there's enough great pilots to set up multiple Top Gun schools throughout the Navy, even the Air Force. Let's do some cross-branch collaboration. Yeah, I think, you know, why isn't Top Gun training part of just regular training? That's an even bigger mystery. But I think any of the naval aviators, Air Force aviators, Marine Corps aviators, I think y'all need to be training together. We're all on the same team here. And maybe give me a free flight since I come up with this great idea for realigning the program. Why not, right? I do have a funny Top Gun story. I wanted to be a fighter pilot since I was a boy, which is well before Top Gun coming out. And I wanted to be a ninja fighter pilot, magician. Anyway, you know, sometimes you move on in life and, you know, your course changes. I always felt, not guilty, but I almost felt a little bit like I let myself down by not pursuing that dream of being a pilot. Until one year, I had a friend, Chelsea, and she had a boss, Steve. I can't imagine they'll ever see this video, but hey, what's up, guys, if you're seeing this. So he had a plane, and we drove up from LA to Santa Barbara for a weekend. He was having some kind of huge cookout. I think it was work related for him. I ended up helping out. I had to cook like 10 tri-tips at once across 3 grills. It was maddening. Anyway, did such a great job. He's like, hey, I'm gonna take you up in my plane tomorrow. And it was like a sign of gratitude. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I love. We spent the whole night eating tri-tip, drinking rum, and talking about fighter jets. We actually talked a lot about the F-35. And he was like, oh, this guy is really into planes. Cool. So we get up, and it was a 4-seat Cessna, really nice plane. And I'd had a bit of wine with dinner the night before, so wasn't feeling great that morning. And we get up there, and he starts doing what I could lightly describe as some slight aerial maneuvers, like not crazy stuff. And the whole time, I'm like trying to keep from throwing up, because that would have ruined it. That would have absolutely ruined the weekend if I would have repainted the inside of his Cessna with basically used tri-tip. But we get down, we land. He's like, oh, based on everything you were talking about last night about fighter jets, I thought you could maybe handle some maneuvers. I'm like, yeah, you know, had too much last night. But net result, I don't feel like I let myself down by not trying to become a fighter pilot. I would have likely washed out. I probably would not have made it. If I couldn't handle those little bit of G's, he was just doing up and overs. There's some like a candy cane. I forget what they call that. If I couldn't handle that, I probably would not have been able to handle anything worse. So I feel that I'm off the hook. And if I'm being honest, Ace Combat does it for me. If you're not familiar with PlayStation, Ace Combat, it's a fighter jet game. You go on these missions, but you get an absurdist number of missiles or bombs for your aircraft. It's like, I think if a regular payload on a fighter jet is 6 missiles, you get 60, like an absurd amount, and it's so stupid, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Anyway, that is your Top Gun Maverick non-spoiler review, and mostly a bunch of randomness from me, and me begrudging the weather for my car wash. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great one. All right, peace. I can't believe they brought back Goose as a zombie pilot flying for the Russians. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't bring Goose back.